Okay, so Heather and I wanted to share, basically because of what's been going on this month, us just hitting Success Club kind of back to back after one another, and share how we do that. Like, how do we hit higher numbers? And the coolest part about this is, like, there's no secret sauce. There's nothing special or fancy that we do. So we put together a little presentation. Also, like, mainly kudos to Heather because she's just a baller at this and I'm not good with the presentation. So she started it and I was just like, okay, let's do this. So I'm gonna try to open it and share my screen. Sorry, slow. Awesome. I like just keeping it in like the web browser so I can still see everybody. Otherwise I get stressed out. I'm like, where did everybody go? Okay, now I'm going to share my screen. Oh wait, desktop 1. Here we go. Woo woo! Okay, it's actually happening. So I'm just going to throw it off to Heather to kick us off, and she can dive into the things that she has prepared.
Yay! Thank you so much, Leanna. I'm so excited to come and talk to all of you guys today. I haven't been on the last couple Wednesday calls because before all of this happened, I was teaching yoga every single Wednesday, and then that stopped. So I'm super excited to be able to jump on every single time with you because, as all of you guys know, I'm sure these calls are such a huge priority. If you're not showing up to them, you're probably not showing up in your business. Like me and Leanna are pouring our knowledge into you guys to try to help you, but we get that from so many different people that have been in this for so much longer. Anyways, I talk for forever, so I'm just gonna jump in. So we're gonna talk about how to help more people and hitting high numbers early on in the month. Oh, Leanna, you're gonna have to change the slides for me as well. So if we can go to the next one, that would be great. As well, I'm Heather, for those of you, I think everyone knows me, but I'm one of Leanna's PS coaches and the founder of Team Grow with Gratitude. I've been a coach since November of 2018. So I'm reading, or I just finished my PD book today, but I was reading it when I was preparing this presentation, and it was talking all about how to share your message, and I pulled this excerpt from there, and it just like spoke to me, so I wanted to share with you guys. I don't share to teach or to convince others. I share to make those who feel the same as me feel less alone. So I know starting this out, I had no idea what I was doing. I feel like most coaches have no idea what they're doing at the beginning, and it can be scary and it can be terrifying. Like, how am I going to inspire people? How am I going to teach them when I don't know what I'm doing myself? But the one thing that keeps me going every single day is I'm not trying to teach anybody anything crazy or ridiculous. I'm trying to help the people who are in the dark place where I was when I began find their voice, find their confidence, and find their happiness. Because if you haven't followed my story, I was an anxious, very small person that couldn't start a conversation, and now I am so far from that, and I'm so excited to get to the next step moving forward. So that is always my driving force, and I think it's really, really powerful when you lead from that intention of love as opposed to a different, like, egotistical or just trying to sell something, right? I always think that's way more powerful. Next slide, please. Thank you. Alrighty, so a couple things that I wanted to touch on was be you. You don't have to be anyone else. If you're being someone else, chances are you're dimming your light. So find your authentic voice. Trying to be someone that you're not will water you down and will water your voice down, and you won't be in alignment with who you are. People can feel that. People can feel your energy and feel your vibe. If you're following a bazillion coaches, just stop. You know, like, I don't follow a ton of coaches on this team, on Team Root to Rise. I see them at events. I love them all. I support them, especially if I compare myself to them. Like, there's this one coach I absolutely freaking love. She's like what I want to be, and I just compare myself to her. So I'm like, I'm sorry, I love you, but I just can't do it. I will support you. I will hug you whenever I see you. I love you so much. But just keeping that aside, because you have a very specific voice, and your voice is going to talk to your people no matter what it is. If you're like a super weirdo that like has a penguin for a pet or whatever, like, probably no one has that, but still, like, just like owning whatever you are and whoever you are, because that is going to speak to your people. Be willing to get it wrong is our second one. Everyone thinks that they have to come in and it has to be perfect. They have to have the perfect video and the perfect picture and the perfect caption. Yes, like having a picture that will captivate or like be bright and like show your face and like a nice smile, yeah, that's important, but still, just being willing to show up every single day is so much more important than if you have the perfect thing to say. Whether you have 500 likes on a picture or 6, you have no idea how many people that it's touched. that means nothing, you know, like whether you hit the insights page or not, your voice is important, and the people that are watching you need to see that every single day. I always say this, I'll never not be the person that doesn't show up. If someone is watching me and is like, you know what, when Heather shows up tomorrow, or like when Amanda or Brianna shows up tomorrow, I'm going to reach out to them and I'm going to change my life. That's the day. And then if I don't show up, or someone doesn't show up that next day and they never change their life, I'm never going to be that person that's for someone not to start their journey, right? So be willing to get it wrong. Be willing to stumble and fall and fail and get back up twice as strong the next time. We all know that you have to fail forward in this business. And it's so, so important to have that consistency every single day, no matter what's going on, no matter how hectic the world is. I know it's a stressful time and we are all in this together. Share, don't compare. Don't rush it. Stay true. Be you. Don't write for likes. Ensure that it comes from an authentic place. Oftentimes we see what other coaches are doing and it's like, well, I have to do that. I have to be that person. I have to write or copy that and be inspirational. Just be you. That is going to be so much more powerful than you copying and pasting somebody else's words, or coming from a place of inauthenticity. Sharing versus selling, your message will be competing with people's best friends. You know, they're like friends that just had babies or weddings and all of this stuff. So share what will provide value to your readers, not provide value to you. You can go on and be like, fitness, fitness, fitness. I love this. Join me, blah, blah, blah. Your gym's closed. No one's going to care. You know, they fall in love with you for who you are, your story, your journey, whether it's perfect or not, whether you've had a shit day or not. That speaks millions to people, as opposed to everything's perfect all the time, right? Like I just shared today that me and Ben fought during our workout. He finally worked out with me and I was so excited. And then it was an 18-minute workout and we still ended up fighting. And I was like, why do we do this? And he's going to work out with me tomorrow, which is going to be great, I'm sure. But you know, like that is the thing that kind of like draws people in, right? Like it doesn't have to be perfect, and you want to be sharing something that's going to bring value to your people. Next slide, please. Okay, so again, be real. It's your humanness that truly touches people, not your superhumanness. No one is expecting you to be perfect. No one knows what they're doing. Be willing to get it wrong. And then be an encourager is such a strong one. Every single time that someone follows me, I reach out to them and I say, hey, like, thank you so much for the follow. Like, what brought you to my page? I got that from Leanna because she wanted to know why they were there. And so many times people reply to that message and they're like, wow, thank you so much. No one else ever does that. Like I follow a bunch of coaches. No one's ever reached out to me. Like what? Why? Like whenever I hear them, I'm like, are you serious? Like these people are coming to you. They are coming to your storefront. If someone was to walk in, if you were working at whatever store you guys have in America, Old Navy came in my head. I don't think you have that. If no one said hi, I would walk right out. You know, I'd be like, what the heck? Like that is so rude. So be the encourager, whether they're going to sign up with you or not, whether they say no, like I'm not interested right now. No is an opportunity to get to know them better. You know, I always go forward. You guys have Old Navy. That's so sick. Yeah, I love it. But I always, whether they say yes or no, like then it's an opportunity for me to get to know them better. And then 2 months down the road, they're like, wow, you still talk to me. You were still there. You still check in on me. You care, you know? And then that changes so, so, so much. So be the encourager, not a discourager, the one who wants the best for others and celebrates when they win, whether it's with you or not, the one who sees the light in those around them and reminds them when they fall, the one who acknowledges their jealous thoughts but chooses to replace them with others, the one who admits when they are down but doesn't demand that they take others with them, the one who remembers we are actually all on the same team. So I got that from my personal development book as well, Light is the New Black by Rebecca Campbell. So good. But it just made so much sense, you know, like there's room enough here for everyone. We don't have to fight. We don't have to compare. We don't have to have elbows up. You know, when I first wanted to sign up and be a coach, I was in Australia and I had to wait for 6 months until I got back to Canada. And I was like, when I get there, there's going to be no one left. Like that is so silly. There is so many people in the world and so many people that need our help, that need you to show up and just be you. And they are your people, you know, your people are not going to be my people. My people are not going to be Leanna's people. It's completely up to you to share who you are. And then there's enough room for everyone, your special, unique bag of gifts, stories, struggles, triumphs, energy, and tools are like no one else's. Let go of the ego and just share who you are, because that's what's going to draw in those people. Alrighty. And then I had some more like tangible bits kind of to share with you guys. So you're faced with decisions every day. If you lead a one-toe business, you will have a one-toe income with one-toe results and a one-toe team. So I heard this on a team call a while ago, something about like the one-toe, like dipping your toe in and feeling it out. And I was like, oh my gosh, yes, this makes so much sense. There has not been a time in this business, like I'm a type 3 Enneagram. I always feel like I say that wrong. And I just found that out, but wow, does it make sense? Because as soon as I went full force, or as soon as I signed up, I was like, I need to do this. I bought the challenge pack. I went out and bought a computer and I was like, this is it. This is it for me. Like I am a coach. That's the bottom line, and I'm going to succeed or I'm going to throw up. That's just how I always kind of go. So it has never been like a struggle for me to, well, it's been a struggle to like kind of take it back. But if you're not going all in, if you're not filling out your tracker every day, if you're not showing up to these team calls, you're not going to be successful. You know, like I do 20 minutes of reach outs every day because that's what the tracker says. When I don't do that, and sometimes I don't, sometimes I get busy, my insights on my page go down 50%, guys, every single time. And all of my signups come from those reach outs. 9 times out of 10, it comes from that. It's not a secret sauce. It's just doing the work, filling out your tracker and going all in. If you're selling yourself short, you're selling your challengers short, you're selling your team short, and you're selling yourself short. You know, you can't decide wrong whether you want to do something or not do something. You can't be in the gray area of your life. I heard this analogy the other day. It's like a train is pulling you, like if this is the white and this is black, like you can't be in the gray. The universe will support whatever decision you have. So if you're just in the middle, like, oh, you know, well, maybe I want to be a full-time coach, or like, maybe I want to be a coach, maybe I don't want to be a coach today, you're constantly going to be pulled in every opposite direction because the universe is going to support whatever decision you make. So decide for yourself. Do you want this or do you not? And as soon as you go all in, yes, it's scary to jump in, but as soon as you make that commitment to yourself and that declaration to the universe, you will be supported. And that might sound kind of silly, but like seriously, I have seen it firsthand, and I've really been like going all in more than usual and just like putting my faith in this scary, like I was shaking the other day with like some decisions that I made and some declarations that I made to the universe, and then everything just kind of worked out, and things just keep coming towards me because I'm supported. My energy that I've sent out into the world, that is so powerful, and that is going to come back to you. So just make a decision. You can't decide wrong. Whatever you do, just get clear on it. Get clear on what you want to do here. My success is inevitable, and I am always on the right path. That is a mantra that you guys can use. Say it to yourself, write it down. It's the truth. My success is inevitable and I'm always on the right path. There is nothing that happens to you that's not exactly where you're meant to be. Every obstacle that falls in your path is there because you have the capacity to overcome it, and you have the capacity to grow more and more from every single one of those things. The universe will never put anything in your path that you can't overcome. Everything is a choice. Own your power. Going back to just deciding, just making that decision and really getting clear on that. So every belief that you have results in your results. So if it goes beliefs, and then they turn into thoughts, which turn into feelings, which turn into actions, which turn into your results. So it's the BTFAR there. You can write that down as well. It is amazing. So a belief maybe would be, I have to work really hard for my money. And our beliefs usually come from our childhood, what we grew up to know, whether it's from our parents or whatever else, it's ingrained in our mind. But like that example, I have to work really, really hard for my money. Where did that come from? Like, is that the truth? Like, it's not the truth for everyone. Some people work 4 hours a week and they have massive success, right? I work my butt off because I want to be successful and see this business grow, but I don't need to work 16 hours every day, you know? Whatever your belief is, if you say, I have to, or I can't be successful because of this, that is a belief. You need to change that belief right now. Get really deep on what is a fact and what is a belief. I can't be successful in this business. That is no one else telling you that but you. That is from you and your mind, and that can be changed. Whatever belief that you have will turn into your thoughts. You'll start thinking about them. It will have some like feeling going behind it, and that's more and more powerful. It keeps gaining traction. That will turn into your actions. So if you say, I can't do this, I'm not going to be a successful coach, you're probably going to watch Netflix instead of sending out invites. You're probably going to just be like have that negative mindset around your business and choose to do other things and step out of the things that are going to give you results. If you change that belief, which you can, which you have the power to, you say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to go full force with this, and I'm going to be successful, your actions are going to reflect that. And that will in turn be your results. Stop living by things that hold you back. That is completely in your power. That's why personal development is so important. Sitting down, meditating, getting a good solid morning routine. Throughout this whole pandemic, I have read 10 minutes of a spiritual development book and 10 minutes of a business development book, as well as meditated. And I'm doing some business training now, all of that stuff. And I have not had an off day or a bad day in a long time, whereas normally it was like every 4 days I would be having a bad day. So you're in control of that. Get really solid on your morning routines. Wake up early, feel good about what you're doing. Set your intention when you go to bed. I'm going to wake up like nice and rested and have a beautiful day filled with love and light and productivity. That's will do so much for you. Your energy is what sets you apart. So level 5 and frantic energy is something that I kind of struggle with a lot. So starting at the bottom, like this analogy, if you were in a building and you were on the first floor and you were just trying so hard to clean everything on the first floor, and doing everything that you like wanted to do, but you never got up to the 5th floor because you were so focused on this first floor. So calming yourself, like with like meditation or some deep breathing, helps to literally slow down the stress in your body, like the cortisol levels in your body, so that you can get in the elevator and raise yourself up to the 5th floor. No matter how much cleaning you do on the first floor, you will never get up to that 5th floor unless you center yourself and calm down. People can feel that frantic energy, and coming from a place of that ridiculous nervousness or like franticness, whatever it is not going to help you. So really getting clear on that personal development and some kind of something there as well. Tangible. This has been so freaking amazing. I saw it on Carly's thing and I was like, does that really work that good? You know, like I don't need it. I had my best week and my best day. I signed up 5 coaches in 1 week, 3 coaches in 1 day because of this, guys. It's insane. So good. People want, and I remember when I signed up with Leanna, actually, she had one of these on her story and I wanted to be shouted out. I wanted to see my name on there. I wanted to see confirmed. I wanted to see what just gifts. I don't know how to say it. I was just had to see it written out, but I wanted to be on there and I wanted to see what she would put there for me. I was so excited about it. People get really excited when they know other people are doing things. They want to be a part of it too. They don't want to be left behind. They don't want to be the one person that says pending there. It is so important to shout out people, to make them feel good. People won't always remember what you say, but they will remember how you make them feel. So make them feel good. They just signed up with you. They just put their faith in you. Shout them out, you know? I think this is super important. And also people like to wait till the last minute. So that day that I got 3 signups, and I think it was 2 signups and then 3 signups the next day because I was closing. I was like, guys, 24 hours, this is it. And everyone was like, holy shit, I got to do this now. I have registration open for like 2.5 weeks, guys. And then all of a sudden everyone signed up. Super important. If you're not doing this, it also helps you to keep like on track with who you have, who you need to check in with, and who you have to go back to. And then you want to fill it up more. You're like, I need to send out more share cards so I can put pending there. So it's a really good kick in the butt for you as well. I think that's all that I have. Thank you so much. I hope I wasn't talking too fast.
No, that was so good. Sorry, my mouse, every time I use my computer for like longer than 45 minutes, my mouse starts floating across the screen. So that's why you saw that if you were looking at the screen. But that was so amazing. So many things I was writing down in my notes because I don't have my like pen and paper out, and I was just typing it in my phone as fast as I could because I was like, I gotta change the next slide before she stops talking. So good. So I'm going to dive into a lot more of just like tangible stuff. Really just like tips and tricks that have helped me with, you know, hitting Success Club and then going beyond that and keeping going and hitting higher numbers and helping more people. And like Heather said, a lot of it is like your mindset and your beliefs, like what are you believing, right? Like, are you believing that you can barely get 3 people signed up, or are you believing that there's a bounty of people out there that you can help, right? So the first thing is planning ahead. And this is something that I'm like not naturally good at. So if you have any excuses, like you're not good at it either, just throw them out the window. Like, this business is about growth. We don't show up, you know, as this top 10 coach or whatever, you know, this incredibly successful person. We just show up as ourselves, and whatever our strengths are, whatever our weaknesses are, we work with that, and then we move forward and try to get better, right? So like one of my weaknesses is planning, and like I'm super spontaneous naturally, but I didn't let that stop me from being a successful coach. I just learned how to plan better for my business, and it's also actually helped me with my life, and you know, with being married to Chad, because he really loves to plan. So a lot of these things I just wrote out, like, you know, stream of consciousness. So I'm going to read them, but I might like go off of it. So if you guys want to like write these down, if anything like really strikes a chord with you, then definitely do that. But most of the work we do, we have to know in this business, is planting seeds and watering them daily. So like, yes, you can hit Success Club in a day. That's totally possible. And if, you know, it's the last day of the month, like I encourage you, do not give up until you have hit Success Club. Like don't go to sleep until you've hit Success Club. But when you start planning in your business, like strategically planning months in advance, you will have all the stress and all the anxiety taken away. Like I always look back in my career, and it's like the months that I barely scraped by and hit Success Club or SE10, when that like sort of became my non-negotiable, it was because I hadn't planned ahead. You know, it was the first of the month and I was like, oh crap, like it's the first, like I should be inviting people already, right? Like I should already be doing that. So when you plan ahead, you know, it's not like that is already all, like you don't feel like you're behind. So the invites you send this week, like those will lead to signups maybe next week or next month, or sometimes even like a year later on down the road. So the best thing that we can do is just show up every single day and be consistent and plan for the people that you're talking to say yes eventually. You know, it might not happen today, but the more you can be consistent with all of that, the more success you're going to create for yourself. Sorry, my mouse is getting wild. This is literally what I have to face. I like didn't work on my computer all day today because I wanted it to not be this way. Okay, here we go. We're back. So be in this for the long game and treat your conversations like so. So get rid of, like Heather was saying, that grabby, pushy energy, or, you know, this frantic energy, and switch to confident and welcoming. Like have a confidence in your conversations that you can help them, and be welcoming from, you know, for them to be on your page, but don't, you know, be super, yeah, everything Heather said basically on that one, right? Like we just want to be confident in the fact that like we can help people, but whether or not they sign up with us today or tomorrow, like we don't have to worry. There's no stress, there's no anxiety, right? Like it's all going to work out. And then, you know, I already said this one, kind of plan out your entire month ahead of time, because otherwise you'll get to the first or the third even, or the fifth, and you'll be like, holy crap, the ship has left the station. Like everybody's already hosting groups, I'm behind. And you don't want to feel that way. Like that just causes more frantic energy, more resistance, and more of this like lack mindset, instead of having this abundance that like, oh my gosh, there's so many people out there that need my help. And have a group registration open date and a close date, right? Like we don't want to just be very vague in the way that we're sharing our plan on social media, but you want to actually be, you know, open and loud and say, this is when my group is opening and this is when registration closes, because then that way people feel that urgency. And again, you're not putting the stressful anxiety kind of tone on them by creating urgency. You're just like helping them move along. Because for a while I felt like kind of guilty. I was like, but I shouldn't, you know, put pressure on people. I don't want them to feel stressed about making this happen. But the thing is, like, you can't say the right thing to the wrong person, You can't say the wrong thing to the right person, right? So like, it's important for us to help our clients sign up. And sometimes they have a lot of self-limiting beliefs before doing that. So like the coaching will start even from your first conversation, like first hello to a person. And if it's your person, if that is the person that is meant to be in your group, you can start coaching them into signing up with you. Because I know for me, like I had a lot of self-limiting beliefs before signing up. So it's okay to create urgency and kind of put pressure on people to do that. Just don't do it in that, you know, salesy, grabby, pushy way. You just want to encourage them in a friendly way, right? And with confidence. So also have a group launch date. That one's just kind of like, you know, obvious. Everybody's got to have a group that you have starting on a certain day. And then plan for people to say yes. Again, that's kind of going back to the mindset thing. When you have a confident mindset, you don't have any fear that, you know, you're not going to get as many people signed up as you would like, or you're not going to find people. Like if you have this mindset going into the month that you're going to find your people, like they're out there waiting for you, all you got to do is start telling the world, then you can go and be confident about like, this is how many people I want, you know, to be a part of our group this month, and this is how many people I want to help. So choose a certain amount of spots. Lastly, I just wanted to say, don't push off signups. Like, remember, we've got more time when we plan. We aren't in a stressful, anxiety-filled place. Like, we are in an abundant place. And so if somebody says yes on like the 25th of the month and you're already at your goal of like SE10, don't push them off to next month to start, you know, sign them up today if they're ready to get going with you. Because again, like that's like a lack mindset. It's thinking, oh, I'm not going to have enough people next month, so I'm going to save this person for next month. But what if that person's not ready to sign up a week from now, but today they would be willing, today they would be ready, right? So live in the moment, like help people where they're at, and don't try to push them into where they need to be. Let's see if yay, my buttons are working, just not my mouse. Okay. And then just wanted to touch on being loud on social media and give you guys a few examples of this from what I do right now. And just examples in your stories and your posts. So one thing I always do is I mention the group I'm hosting, or like soon to be hosting, soon to be launching, every single day in my stories. So let's say it's like the 1st of April and I'm hosting my group midway through the month on the 17th or whatever Monday that is, like 2 weeks in. I always mention at least one frame in my stories about my boot camp, whether it's me talking or I'm just showing like a boomerang or something. These are kind of some examples. Like Heather said, I'll post a list and say like 5 spots left, or I'll talk about how I'm working on something I'll be sharing based off of our theme this month, because I always like to theme my groups. So this last month I themed it for like miracle mornings, and I was going to teach my clients how to have their own miracle morning or morning routine. So a lot of my breadcrumbs in my stories every day were like, I'm planning my miracle morning, or I'm planning my live training video that I'm going to be sharing with my girls, or I'm making a pretty graphic for it. Like you can do all these things and show them in your stories. And it's like that saying, or somebody once spoke on a call about how you need to see something like a certain amount of times for you to actually be willing to like invest in it or consider it. That was like some study done. That's all very vague, but it was some study done by some company in advertising. And they just, they said you have to see something a certain amount of times. I think it was like, maybe it was 25 times. I don't know, maybe that was really high. But it's a lot. So the more that you share this on your stories every day, you don't have to share it like in 4 stories. Like just share one little frame. And if that's one frame out of your like 10 or more stories a day, that's like perfect to just like plant a little seed in their head, and then days go by throughout the month and they're like thinking, oh, she's mentioning that boot camp again. Oh, like I wonder, just creating curiosity. So I just posted a ton of examples there. And then share about all those plans. This is, kind of goes without saying, but like you need to share the registration open date, like posts, like when is that opening up? Registration has opened today, guys. Like I'm so excited. Go live about it, like create excitement. And then post about when you're starting, when is registration closing, post how many spots there are total. Like even before you sign people up and start helping them, post about how many people you want to help. Like put it out there, not only in the universe, but like put it out there on your stories, because people will see like, oh, she's helping 10 people this month, or, oh, she's only helping like 8 people this month. I would never do less than 10, just because like that's always my goal, is to at least help 10 people. But I just think it's really triggering for people to like see that in a good way. They'll be like, wow, like she wants to help this many people. That's cool. Like, what if I could be a part of that group? And then lastly, post every other or every 2 days with a reference to your group. So this is in terms of like actually making a post rather than just in your stories. So transformations, transformations, transformations. I like typed that out 3 times because it's always something we have to be posting as coaches. Like it's weird to say this, but like our body is kind of our billboard, right? Like our results are, I mean, physical and internal, mental, emotional, all of the results we're getting are our billboard. So like if you want to help more people, then you should probably get better results, right? Like you should be showing off how amazing these programs are and these products are and how much they're helping you. So transformations are what do that. And there's so many different like cool ways to do transformations. Like go creep on Heather's page. She has like 1 million that are not only physical, but like just, you know, her face from one date to another, like years later. And then I just put on here also every 6 to 9 frames at least, because I think in that first scroll, like when you know, if you're a newcomer on somebody's page, in the first like few seconds, you're going to assess their page. And if you see a transformation, that's just really eye-catching. Like, wow, like I want to know the story behind this. Like, how did she get from here to here? Whoa, you know, like it's very intriguing. And then another post you could make is like, you know, it doesn't have to be all about the boot camp. Like you could make a post and just have 1 sentence mentioning your boot camp, just to, again, like create curiosity. So woke up and pressed play on day blank of my program. Can't wait until a new group of ladies joins me in this, you know. Talk about the fitness journey, or you could talk about like getting some coach work done. You know, I hit up a coffee shop. I'm so excited. Like I got to spend some time planning my group for next month. And then you can go into something else, like talk about the coffee you had or a quote. Like your post can be about something else, but still have like a little mention of your boot camp. And then it's just, again, like triggering that light bulb, reminding people of what you've got going on. So I know we usually say consistency is key, but I was just like, consistency is king, right? Like it is just the most important thing. I feel like that makes it even more important or vital. That's just a better word for it. So when we are consistent over long periods of time with our work, you have to remind yourself, like you're setting yourself up for more consistent success. Like we don't want to just have one good month. We don't, where we helped, you know, 12 people get started on their own health journey. We want to have consistent success. We want to help people consistently in a large number, you know, like in large amounts. So imagine doing consistent work for a week. And so I just kind of used an example of like you invite 100 people per week. That's like typically my rough goal, like my non-negotiable goal. I usually try to, you know, go beyond that. But like if anything were bad to happen and I was having a rough week, like my 100 is non-negotiable. So let's say I invite 100 people per week, and then let's times that by 4. So that's 400 invites per month, and that's 2,400 per 6 months. Whoa, my mouse is freaking out again. But if you take 1 week off, you have just lost already 100 seeds planted. And if you're consistently taking weeks off of like reaching out to people or inviting people, or if you're consistently taking months off, you know, like maybe you have a good month and then you have a bad month and you're just going to decide like, I'm not going to show up this month. You are losing a massive amount of seeds planted. Like you are also losing out on a massive amount of people that you could help. Like those are lives that you could change. So just like, I feel like that puts it all in perspective for me. And that stuff will, like, that comes back to bite you in the butt. You know, if you want to be consistently helping as many people as you possibly can, there's wiggle room and there's room for mistakes for sure, but there's just not enough room for you to just kind of like go away, right? And just stop showing up. Like you have to learn how to be consistent, and it takes discipline. It's hard, but you guys can all do it. Like you are all more than capable. If you're capable of committing to a program and working out every single day until you finish that program, you are capable of sending your invites, you know, filling out your tracker, sending your reach outs. You totally can. So again, like think about your rough months versus your good months. If you're having a rough month, and I've totally had many of them, where you feel like you're struggling. You're like, why is there no one out there, right? It's probably because you just haven't invited enough people in the last few months. If you're having a great month, on the other hand, with tons of signups, like maybe people are just like flocking to you. You're like, you sent out an email and you got like 4 responses and they're all wanting to sign up. It's probably because of the work that you did months ago, not just like yesterday, right? But that encourages me and that motivates me to want to be consistent every single day of every single month, because I'm like, I want myself to be grateful for the work I'm doing 6 months from now or 3 months from now. So let me see if I can try to get this. Oh, there we go. Kind of zoomed out. Let's see. I think I had something here and it disappeared. Anyways, I did this little experiment a while ago where I was inviting 10 people a day, and I did it. I was like inviting 10 people a day, majority of the last last quarter of last year. So like 2019, the last 3 months. And then I think it was just halfway through December, January, and March, I have been ever since then inviting 20 to 30 people every single day. Like 20 again is like my non-negotiable, but really aiming for like 25, 30. And it is crazy to me. Like I was really struggling to hit Success Club 10 in those earlier months, or the end of last year. And when I switched over and just started inviting more people and being consistent with inviting more people every single day, it has been like, I wouldn't say easy, but it has just been easier to sign up way more people, find more people that need my help, and hit higher numbers in turn. So again, like it is so simple, guys. Like if you look back on your business, if you weren't really showing up and being consistent last month, this month you're probably facing a little bit of the backlash of that. Okay. And so like, don't beat yourself up over it, but just assess and then, redirect, pivot, and move forward and change what you need to change. And I did that little experiment because I truly wanted to see, like, how long is it going to take for the new things that I'm implementing to really like shift and take effect in my business? And it literally took 3 months for it all to like change, and for the 20 to 30 invites I was sending out to actually help me get more people signed up consistently. So anyways, that was just a little experiment I did that I thought was interesting. So ask yourself, what's a good number of invites, reach outs, follow-ups that I can commit to daily, weekly, and monthly? And I really love finding a number that's like weekly or monthly, because then again, it gives you room for wiggling around, for having a bad day, for having a good day, right? And you can kind of meet in the middle so that you're not, having to be perfect every single day, because that's not what this is about. And then just remember, you got to be committed to those numbers. Like you can't just set them and then like walk away. Like you have to set them and be super committed, because if you want more yeses, you have to be willing to talk to more people and get more no's. And when you're strategic and smart with your time, that'll be really, really simple, but you will in turn hit higher numbers and help more people if you're doing that. Okay, last slide. I know this call is going a little longer than normal. Thanks for hanging, guys. Okay, so just lastly, I wanted to say, like, going back to the whole mindset thing, our business is so like focused on mindset. I think that's just the foundation of everything. So there is no stopping helping people just because you got to Success Club. If this depends on what your goals are with your business, right? Like if you want to go full time as soon as possible with this business, then like you should change your mindset ASAP to like, there's not stopping helping people just because I got to Success Club. If you are doing this more so as a hobby and you just want to help people for like here and there, then that's totally cool. If you just want to keep your boundaries with just helping a few people per month, like that's totally fine. But if you're on the other end of the spectrum, even if you just want this to be like a part-time thing, but a major income in your life, like the major source of income in your life, then you really got to get on board with this mindset. So most people don't help as many people as they like, I think, simply because they just take the foot off the gas pedal. the moment that they hit Success Club. They stop being consistent with their work, or multiple days after they've hit Success Club, they're just kind of like flailing around and not really being strategic anymore or focused. And they act kind of like they've earned the time off. And I've totally been there too. Like if I'm calling you out, I'm calling myself out in the past too. But I want you guys to know, like, time off is great. And I'm such a big fan of work hard, play hard. Like that is my life, like saying. I love working really, really hard and then going and celebrating and playing really, really hard. But I would encourage you guys, make it your new non-negotiable to help as many people as you possibly can every single month, not just to hit Success Club, right? So stay consistent with your vitals and your commitment numbers that I was talking about before, weekly and monthly. And instead of like celebrating when you get to the end of the month, or maybe celebrating when you get to Success Club and then just kind of throwing the baby out with the bathwater and being like, I'm done, woo woo. Like go celebrate, that's amazing, but make it a continual thing, you know, like hit Success Club 6, go celebrate, like treat yourself, go out to dinner, whatever. And then go hit Success Club 10. And then again, like treat yourself, go get your nails done, or watch a movie, watch a Netflix series, and then, you know, keep going, but like celebrate along the way, because that's what reminds us that we love this life, we love this job. It gives us a little breather, it gives us time off. And then we come back fueled and like so excited to continue helping people, right? Like you're not going to get anywhere if you burn yourself out with taking massive action. But so that's why I think it's so important to, you know, like hit these goals and then go celebrate, and then hit another goal and then go celebrate, right? Like that is how we can make this sustainable, and that's how we can be consistent long term. So that is all I got. That's all we got. If you guys have any questions, I'm going to stop sharing and look at the chat. I haven't even taken a second to look at the chat. Sorry, my computer's being so frustrating.
Okay, I definitely have a question. I guess it's for you and Heather, but it's kind of more of like a guidance question. So in January, like I freaking killed it. Like I did so good with my business. And then like, I don't know what happened, like just life and just everything. And I'm somebody that gets overwhelmed really easily. And like, I know myself, like quitting, it never crossed my mind. Like I never was like, I don't know if I should do this. I don't know if I want to be a coach. Like I've always known that I love this, and I knew I would come back to it. But like so much has happened, and it has drained me and like pulled me far from like where I got myself, like in my own mental health and my own nutrition and my own, you know, fitness and just life. Like just, it's literally been a domino after a domino. And then now all this is happening. We're all facing a crisis. And I'm like, all right, can we go to 2021? But my question is like, I have been trying so hard to get out of this funk, but like I find myself like still struggling, not wanting to do anything and not coach. Like I'm just like in this like really low place. And it's like I can't get myself to like get back to where I want to be. Like I want to coach. I love it. It's never crossed my mind to quit, but like I can't, like I don't know. Like, have you guys like ever experienced that to where you felt like you like killed it and then you took a couple months off and now you're like glued and you can't move forward and you're like, how can I unstuck myself?
Did you actually take a couple months off where you like weren't really doing anything?
I mean, I was like, I wouldn't say a couple months. No, I like probably have taken like a week and a half of not doing anything. Like I just kind of like slowly started migrating into this nothing period. So, you know, in February and the beginning of March, well, February, I just kind of bare minimum. And then March came and it was just like a little bit less. And now it's like flatlined, have done nothing.
So I don't know what Leanna has to say on this, but I do have a couple of thoughts. So first of all, this is a stressful time. I know everyone's kind of losing their jobs and everything, and I know you're not immune to that. So first off, I want to say I'm sorry. I know you're not alone. Me and Ben both lost 2 jobs. Yes, like coaching was like a full force for me, but I also had like a yoga income that was pretty okay, you know, and really helps with a lot of things. So allow yourself to feel that. Like it is totally normal to be super stressed out and not motivated. Like I know was watching Carly's story. She's been going through that too. I'm sure Leanna has been feeling that. Like everyone has been feeling that. And it's hard to find the motivation to get up out of bed when everyone else is just like, well, I'm at home, I'm gonna drink and eat chips because what the hell else am I supposed to do, right? So first off, allow yourself to feel, process those emotions, know that that's okay. And then second, show up on the hard days no matter what. And like, it's okay to take some time off, give yourself time, but know that when you come back, it's going to be a little bit harder to get into. So like, we never stay like still in this business. If you're not pushing forward, you're going to be falling backwards. And that sucks. But just like I've seen you absolutely kill it and absolutely crush this and blow those high numbers out of the water where I was like, what is she doing and how is she doing it? Like you are so capable and so amazing. And I actually went to your page like a couple days ago and I saw like 6, it might've been yesterday. I don't know. It was pretty recent. And I saw like 6 stories or something. And I was just like, oh, I miss her face. Like I miss her energy. Like, where is she? And cause usually you have like 25 stories and you're like all over the place. So yes, like it might be because like things are just a little bit stressful and like that's perfectly okay. That is so normal, but just know that your energy is needed and missed. And I really, really missed your face. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that miss that as well. And as soon as like, I know like you're probably keeping up with your like Bible study and all that stuff, but I would really say to focus on those areas that are going to fuel you, like cleaning the house, making sure whenever I get in a rut as well, my nutrition and my workout plan, I'm like, that's what I'm doing. Am I reading? I'm like, this is my full attention right now. Everything else will fall into place. And it always does. So that's what I would say. I hope that helps.
Also wanted to ask if you feel like you kind of worked to the point where you like burnt yourself out a little bit in those months where you were like going ham, which that was amazing. But I know for myself, like in the past, the months that I like just work so hard and then I had these massive goals and I'm like so excited, then it's always like the next few days after I've like hit whatever SC24 or whatever, I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna like breathe and like not send out a few messages for a few seconds. So I would say like finding a good happy medium for yourself. Like go back to that slide I shared where it's like, what is a consistent number of like conversations, invites, reach outs, whatever you want to like count and measure that you can be having to the point where you're not like killing yourself and feeling so overwhelmed, but to where you're not also like going away. Because I know like it's like the pendulum swings, you know, you go ham and crazy and then it's like you're super burnt out and then it swings to the other side and you're like, I need to like die for 3 days and nobody can hear my voice anymore. So yeah, just finding balance. And I know for me, like I'm naturally all or nothing as a person. I think a lot of us coaches are naturally all or nothing because we came to this for the reason of needing balance, like needing to learn how to do life in a balanced way. Like I know Chad is also, so we always talk about it. Like, you know, we go to cruises or we'll go on the Success Club trips and we go ham and like live it up. And then we come home and we're like, I need a vacation from my vacation. So just like maybe have a theme for yourself or like an affirmation or an intention over the next like month that you're just going to be balanced, right? Like you're going to show up and you're going to do your non-negotiables and set a timer, you know, so you get that stuff done and then cut yourself off and be like, okay, I did enough today. And then if you have extra time later, or you're still not at Success Club maybe, and it's like nearing the end of the month, then give yourself, you know, a push and be like, okay, I need to do more because I'm not getting to my goals. But also just remember, like, if you are following the tracker, like doing everything it says, setting those timers, and I would say doing like 10 invites, you should hit Success Club 6, like no problem. So I don't know if that helps, but that is what I would say.
Yeah, no, that's super helpful. Have you read the 10X rule? You and Heather, have you guys both read that? I thought so. Okay, well, I'm totally a retreater. Like I will do, like I'm a retreat and like a massive action. It's like I bounce back and forth between the two. But I guess like one thing that I'm proud of is like I acknowledge it. Whereas in the past, like I wouldn't have acknowledged it. I would just kind of have left it and just be like, oh, it is what it is. Whereas now I'm like, okay, this is my issue. Like, how can I navigate it? we do move in our new apartment in a week, and we're turning the garage into a fitness center. So I think that'll make me excited, and the kitchen's pretty, so I can like share nutrition stuff. So maybe that'll help me with my funk. I know that's funny, but I've been like, I can't wait to get into this kitchen and cook and just share.
That is going to be such like a beautiful new start for you. That's amazing. I'm so excited for you.
I would also say, like, what is your PD right now? Because that's also like our beliefs, you know, create our action, or create our thoughts, create our actions, create our results. So that's another thing. Like whenever I'm reading PD that I don't resonate super heavily with, I know like Alex can attest to that when she was reading that frickin' Build to Last or whatever, the wrong one. It's just, it knocks you off your game, you know, when you are like living or reading something that you don't feel like is helping you. It's almost like I feel like angry at the book. I'm like, you're a waste of time. Why am I reading you? So yeah, get in. Oh no, PD. That's why. Girl, you got to get into it. That's literally why. Like, I guarantee you, find a book that you are obsessed with and you'll be so happy. What I'm reading right now, it's so good. The 12-week year. It's all about like time management and being more strategic with your time. And it is so good. If anybody needs help with that. I've heard Own Your Everyday is so good. And also, Amanda, what you just said about adding the little stay home sticker to your stories, I did that like on 2 of my stories today, and I'm going to go check and see if they got higher insights. Yay. Well, if nobody else has any questions, I really want to take a boomerang because there's so many people on. Okay, I think I'm ready. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. Yay. So cute. Thanks for hanging, guys. Have a good rest of your night. Love you all. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.